Hello, everyone, and welcome to our another episode of Shiz and Giggles, our weekly wind down podcast where we talk everything and anything. My name is Jasmine, and I will be your host for today. But of course, I'm never alone. My first co-host that I want to join me on the screen is our dancing queen, child model, and actor, is super passionate about events, love it. She speaks Hebrew, maybe we can get her to speak a little today. She is an island hopper, a lean, mean event producing machine. My girl, Jenna Hasher. Hey, Jenna.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Of course, they said, who do you want to co-host with you? And I said, definitely Jenna.
We got the Jays on today, so.
I know. It's the Jays. All right. And I want to introduce my second co-host, a world traveler who loves learning about different cultures, a native to Trinidad and Tobago. She loves being on the water, tubing, boating, and fishing. Fun fact, she is a licensed counselor, so if you need her, make sure to hit her up. She's thoughtful, talented, and tenacious. The other J of the Triple Threat Squad, Josann Sims. Hi, Josann.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you, or happy to have you. So, ladies, three J's, the three amigas, we have things to talk about today.
We do.
So, to kick things off, I want to talk about a trending topic. And this week, we're going to discuss the balance of and home life. Okay. So, of course, the pandemic has shifted people's lives from going to the office every day to being in their own space. Everyone had to adjust to this major shift, and it tackles new obstacles created by working from home. I know all of us can relate to this. So 60% of Americans say that they struggle to maintain a good work-life balance. Some are saying that they never feel they have time to even relax. Others say that they work too hard or too many hours, which I can definitely agree to that. So people definitely agree that there are not enough hours in the day to complete all of their tasks. An extra 3 hours and 54 minutes are needed a day for the average person to complete everything. This will make your week over 8 days long. So I like to ask my co-hosts and also the people watching, question one, how has working from home affected the separation between work and your personal life? So Jenna, if you'd like to answer that question.
I think it's just because it blurs the lines a little bit now. I think we were having this discussion in a meeting or something a while back, but we kind of stay on a little bit longer because we're like, oh, well, I don't have to leave the office because I'm already at home. I can just keep working. Or, maybe you'll hop on a little bit earlier because, again, you're at home. So it kind of just blurs the lines and makes it hard to have a distinct stop time, which is why I've been trying to work on boundaries, but it's so difficult because it's 5 minutes turns into 5 hours.
I definitely agree. And when you said about the part of maybe even jumping on to do work 5 minutes or a couple minutes earlier, or staying on a little longer because you don't have that travel time to add into your workday schedule. Definitely can attest to that. But I think a key word that you said was boundaries and setting those boundaries. So just saying, what is your thought of that question? And also, how do you set boundaries for yourself?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with what Jenna says. I have to work on the boundary setting aspect of things a little bit because, just like Jenna said, and just like you said, it's, you start earlier, you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, I'm home. I mean, I might as well just have this laptop on my lap anyway, I mean, what else is there to do since we're in a pandemic? I mean, you can't really go out, you can't socialize with friends, you can't, I mean, there's so many things that we can't do that we used to enjoy doing, right? And so it's difficult to have that work-life balance. However, one thing that I do is to draw the lines is that I wake up just like I'm going to the office, get dressed like I'm going to the office. And then, so that's a good thing to do so that you're not working in your PJs. You're not feeling like you're just home and doing all that stuff. So that's just some things that I do. I get dressed in the morning, and then I have a separate workspace that I know this is where I work and this is where I stay. And then everywhere else in the house, it's not work. It's not a work area. So those are just some little things that I tend to do.
And I agree with both of those. I know we've talked in the past on She's a Giggle season 1 about the importance of getting up and getting dressed and acting like you are going to work, which I mean, you relatively are still going to work. I mean, not physically, like traveling to your workspace, but you're still in that work environment of going to meetings and being with your colleagues. So that does change. It does help you change the way you are mentally as well. Say, okay, let me get dressed. I'm physically at work right now. And then, of course, change your clothes to lounge clothes. Say, okay, now I am relaxing.
Correct.
So I definitely have to agree. I think sometimes the hard part also is the way that your living space is set up. So recently I was on social media, and a friend of mine, she posted on her Instagram story, and she stated that, you know, before the pandemic happened, she always was very, very stern on setting boundaries for herself, not bringing her work into her home. And even she said, future planning, when I do have a house, I want for my house not to include an office, because I don't want myself to be accustomed to working at home.
That's true.
And she said now working at home, it like changed all what she set in stone for herself and boundaries that she set for herself early on. So she's like, it's a lot weighing on her.
Yeah.
And I definitely understand, because she's in a small apartment complex currently.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of space. A lot of people don't have that room to, you know, set up the desk or what have you. It's just their bed and maybe a couch.
Yeah, not everyone is fortunate to have those designated areas. And let's not forget, we have kids that are in school. We have more than one person working from home. So it can get a bit tricky as well as to how to navigate those things. I know we were discussing that, you know, some people may need to work like at night, like later, because their house is more quiet. And so that in itself is a whole nother different story, you know? So definitely.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I would say, I want to propose a question to our audience. Do you enjoy working from home, or do you miss going to the office? You know, some people, they say, I love working from home. Like, I feel like this should always be a thing. But some people, they're saying, you know, I don't know for how much longer I keep this up. I'm ready to go back into the office. So let us know what you think down below. We'd love to hear from you. But another question I have for my co-host, what do you do to make sure you are taking time for yourself, doing that self-care? Of course, Valentine's Day just passed, and a lot of people focus on that self-love, and of course, self-care goes along with that. So what are some things that you do to take time for yourself?
Well, every morning, I like to start off, like I get out of bed, you know, little morning routine that I always do. And then I take probably about like 15 to 20 minutes to stretch. And I find this like really just helps me kind of focus, think about what I'm going to do that day while still moving, getting my body loose, getting ready for the day. And then at the end of the day, before I shower, because I shower at night, I do a little workout, max like 45 minutes. Usually
more, nothing less.
Like 20, but 45 max if I'm feeling fancy. But just to kind of like get, you know, again, get your body moving, but also work off any like frustrations I had throughout the day, kind of just burn off that like extra physical energy so that I have a good night's sleep.
I love that. Josann, what about you?
I spend a lot of time with my family. And so whether that is family catching up with them in England or in Trinidad, or, you know, my parents in Indiana, or so, even though I'm on a lot of Zoom calls and meetings, I still make the time to like FaceTime or, you know, catch up with friends and family members. So those are some things that I enjoyed, you know, socializing before the pandemic. So I enjoyed being around person. I always liked a good hangout. And so that's something that I miss. And so I still tend to make it a habit to contact my family members and stay in touch with them. That's some things that I enjoy. And then watching movies with my family and yeah.
I think those are all great things that incorporate self-care into your now work/home life. I know for me, I'm big on making sure that I get my monthly, sometimes bi-weekly massages. I love it. That is what I do for self-care, especially sitting in a desk all day, sitting at a sitting in a chair all day. That is what I do. Of course, occasionally taking myself out on dates. Of course, hashtag COVID. Treating myself to a nice dinner here and there, takeout, which I think are all ways that I try to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And ways that I can focus on me and make myself enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are all great, Jasmine. Those are all great.
Yeah.
I remember before the pandemic, I used to go to the hair salon and get my nails done all the time. I mean, I was there all the time, and now
A routine.
yeah, and I just don't do that anymore because I'm like, where do I have to go, right? So yeah, but it's something that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and I feel like those they're small things, but they make a world of a difference. Getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting your feet done. Yeah, I know all of our guys watching I don't know why they do all that. So much time. But that is self-care, guys. That is self-care. Just like how people like to go to the gym. That is self-care for them sometimes. So, okay. Well, I love our discussion we're having, ladies. But I will say it is time for our first segment, everyone. So let's go to Who Said That with Jenna.
All right, everyone. So we have a fun Who Said That this week because instead of our usual real people, we're doing TV shows. Okay. Bonus point if you can guess who said it in the TV show.
Oh my goodness. This is going to be difficult.
I really hope not because I picked some easy ones. I think we got it.
Okay.
Okay. Quote number 1. How you doing?
Oh, I know that.
Is it A, Friends, B, Full House, or C, Boy Meets World?
The first thing that came to my mind was one of those options.
I know.
I was thinking of D, Wendy Williams.
I was so thinking Wendy Williams.
I picked D.
Really?
I was thinking Wendy Williams. I was like, oh, I know that. And then the actress came up and I'm like, what? Wendy didn't say that?
Okay, the second most iconic one then.
I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm going to say, I'm going to go with, I'm going to say Friends. That's so wrong.
I was going to go with Friends too because they all see, but I want to go, Jasmine, I'm with you. I like the Friends theme because, it's like, how you doing, Friends?
Yeah.
How you doing? Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Everyone in the comments, submit your final answer because the answer is A. It's Friends.
Oh, God bless.
Biryani.
God bless.
I can't believe you didn't know that. Oh my goodness.
Okay, what happened was I just need to watch more shows. That's
I do.
Okay. So the next quote is "Make it work."
Oh, I say this all the time now. I know this one.
Is it Project Runway, America's Next Top Model, or Chopped?
I love all three shows. But my guy, Tim Gunn, Make It Work, Project Runway.
Make it work. Yeah, he used to be make it work, with the snappy fingers.
Yeah,
make it work.
Correct. It is Tim Gunn.
2 points.
Iconic. Iconic.
I love that show. And it's funny because of the way that he mentors the designers in Project Runway. He, of course, he goes around and he checks up on designers and what they're designing. I'm a big Project Runway fan. But a lot of times they come up with obstacles and they're like, I'm thinking about doing this, He doesn't give them an answer. He provides, he asks them questions, or he gives them recommendations of like, well, have you thought about this, or have you thought about this? And then at the end, he just says, make it work. And that's just cool. Like, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board, or like, I need to think through this. So I love his different style because he doesn't just give you an answer.
Kind of, that sounds familiar. Asking the question, it sounds very familiar. I'm not gonna name any names, but it sounds very familiar. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
If you think you know who we're talking about, drop it.
If you think you know, you know. Okay. As they would say, it TI is. Okay.
What is TI?
All right, ladies. The next one. I think we'll know this. Okay. Friends don't lie. Is it from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Stranger Things, or Sister Sister? I'm going to give you a hint, and I'm going to say it's really popular on Netflix.
Friends.
Oh, well.
I think I know.
What do you
Since
think?
It's really popular on Netflix, I would go with Stranger Things.
That's what I was thinking too. So I'm going to say Stranger Things.
It's Stranger Things because that's very popular right now.
It is, yeah. I was between originally B and C, but when you said it's popular on Netflix, it's Stranger Things. So.
It's definitely not Sister Sister because I watch all
who
of
says
it.
it?
Say that again?
Do you think you know who says it though? Like on the show?
No.
I don't watch
it. Okay. Well, you're correct. It is Stranger Things, and it is.
Yes. Season 3.
All right. Last quote. Now, this might be a little obscure. However, if you know what my favorite TV show is, you would know the answer.
Okay.
That's why I include it. Okay.
I think she's calling us out, Joseph.
I know she's very calling it. She said, if you know my favorite TV show, somebody
Okay. People in the comments might if my family's watching because I'm obsessed with it. Saving people, hunting things, the family business. Is it A, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, B, Warehouse 13, or C, Supernatural?
I think I know. I'm going to say B. I'm going to go with B. That's all we got. Sorry, Jenna.
I am going to go with saving people, hunting things, the family business. Oh, Supernatural, because hunting things, I would say Supernatural. Saving people, hunting things.
You are correct, Josann.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people say this within the show, but I put Winchester because he was the first person who said it. He coined the term. He's a Winchester. If you haven't watched the show, highly recommend. It just ended last fall. I'm not going to spoil the ending. Just going to say still a little disappointed by it. But 15 years. That show came out when I was 5. Wow.
That's dedication right there.
That is dedication right there.
Well,
I didn't start watching until I was 10, but 11 years of my life. So,
well, thank you so much, Jenna. So we're going to move right along to our next segment, and let's go to Josann for This Time in History.
Hello, everyone. This time in history, I just want to, it's a little more on a lighter note. Today, if anybody out there knows Smokey Robinson, today is Smokey Robinson's birthday. And if we know about Smokey Robinson, maybe, the older crowd, I'm not saying that, the older crowd may know about Smokey Robinson, our parents. I know about Smokey Robinson. I don't know about any of us here. Jasmine, do you know about Smokey Robinson?
No. I can't even lie. I know he's an artist.
He has some
But
good
that's where my expertise lies.
Oh my gosh, Jasmine Smokey Robinson. He has he was born William Robinson Jr., right? And they call him Smokey. His uncle had nicknamed him Smokey Joe. But he dropped the Joe, right? And he had said that he's going to call himself Smokey because it was more, he loved Western as a kid. And so he decided that, Smokey sounded more of a Western name. But he had hits like Cruisin', Just to See Her, and big hits like that. You know Cruisin'? You don't know Cruisin'? I guess none of y'all know Cruisin'. Yeah, good.
No, but I'll add it to my playlist.
You should add Smokey. It's a classic. Smokey is classic. He's 80 years old, born in
80 years young. 80 years young.
Yes. Thanks for the correction, Jasmine. It's 80 years young. And another thing, this is up for discussion right here. Another thing that happened this day in history, Tiger Woods. Now, I don't know if you guys watch golf or whatever, but Tiger Woods on this day, in 2010, that was 10 years ago, he came out publicly and he apologized for this scandal that was surrounding his private life. Now, I have a question in regards to that, right? Because, my question is, right, he admitted to the press and all this stuff that he did some things, and I'm not going to go into the things that he admitted, but he admitted to doing some things. My question is, what are your thoughts about people expecting or needing an explanation from public figures regarding their personal life? Like, how do you feel about that?
I'm going to be honest. I really think, personal life should be personal life. If somebody had a scandal in your neighborhood, yes, people are going to talk about it, but you don't owe anyone an explanation. And I don't think celebrities should have to owe an explanation. Bring Britney into this. She shouldn't have had to explain anything. Okay, just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree, Jenna. No, that's their business, right? That's what they're doing. That's their business. I don't feel like that they owe anyone an apology. I understand that people say, when you put yourself out there and, and you're in the limelight, then you expect certain standards, but we're all humans, right? And we're all going to make mistakes. So why chastise someone? Or they even put him off and they said, he is done for. He is this, he is that. And Tiger is doing well today, okay? For those that don't know, he doing okay? And he is still living his best life, okay? And he's doing well. So, Jasmine, do you have any thoughts?
No, I would have to agree with both of you. I do hate how, because you do have some people that are in the limelight or that are celebrities or public figures, that their private, their privacy is always on blast. It's like you could never have privacy. But like you said, Josann, everyone makes mistakes. The mistakes that Tiger Woods made, another person that isn't as famous and doesn't have that as much money made too. And they were also, they probably did apologize as well, or their actions may have been, can't think of the word, but everyone has made mistakes. No one's perfect. No one's perfect at all. So it is sad that, people do have to make public apologies and that they have to apologize to the public, but it's like, you didn't do anything to the public, you did something to that person. And it's like, so why do I have to make an apology publicly?
Exactly. You did nothing to hurt anyone physically. You didn't do any harm. There are people's feelings that got hurt, but you and that person worked that out, not the whole nation. So that's my take on that. So that is my take.
Thank you, Josann. That was a great time. That was some great times in history that you reflected back on. But last, but certainly not least, is I would say my favorite segment of the day. And that's my segment, Cinema Magic. Okay, now you know me. I'm gonna get you hip to all the latest movies. And one movie actually hasn't come out yet. It's scheduled to come out actually next Friday. So I'm giving you an inside scoop on what to make sure you're watching on HBO Max. And that is the new Tom and Jerry movie. So I know probably not a lot of us have watched Tom and Jerry when we were younger. And you're like, well, that was a kid's show. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the preview, please do. It is a great movie to watch with your family. Very, very funny. Of course, we look at this as a cartoon, something that doesn't have a lot of words in the original, of course, TV series. This has a lot of emotion. It does have some of our favorite actors and actresses in it. I will ask Josann and Jenna, have you all seen Tom and Jerry? Was Tom and Jerry a popular show for you growing up?
Girl,
really?
I grew up watching Tom and Jerry. I mean, this is like this time in history. Like we're going back like way back. Yes, I watched Tom and Jerry. It was our Saturday morning flick. You know, you had to do your chores, and then after you do your chores, you watch Tom and Jerry, right? Tom and Jerry is
Yeah, we had boomerang on all the time in our house. So Tom and Jerry was like always running.
The show to watch. And it's funny that you say that because I wasn't a fan of Tom and Jerry. Like, I think for me, when it comes to, I'm very particular about my shows and movies, as you can see, why I have segments like that. But I wasn't a fan of Tom and Jerry growing up. I think it's because it didn't have any words, so it didn't grasp my attention. But seeing this movie and seeing the preview, I was like, ooh, this excites me. Like, this makes me want to turn to when the movie comes out, go and watch it. So definitely make sure that you're going to HBO Max. If you have it, if you don't have it, ask your neighbor for their login. And make sure that you tune in next Friday. Okay, maybe not your neighbor, but a close friend. And make sure you tune in next Friday to Tom and Jerry and see what you think. I would say, of course, it hasn't come out, but I love to give my rating. So if I had to rate the preview with what I saw, I'd have to give it a 5 stars. 5 stars. It was definitely a great preview. Great preview. Watch the movie. Let us know what you think. Maybe after I watch it, in my next Cinema Magic segment, I'll be able to do a full review, say if it's good or bad. But from what I saw, I feel like I'm going to enjoy it. So
I'm going to be watching it. And, ever since COVID, we have every single app like HBO Max. Everything,
It's like it's adding up. The bill's adding up. Netflix,
tell me about it.
HBO, Disney Plus. I have BET Plus. It's Stars. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, can we just combine them all into one? So I can pay one.
Paramount Plus is about to come out, and I kind of want to get that. So.
And I can't be mad because they are getting their money, especially HBO, that they're offering these movies that are coming out.
Absolutely.
They're providing a safer option for people that don't want to go to theaters, and they're, of course, with the movies there. So I think that is an excellent idea. Something that should have been thought of way before then. But hey, I'm happy for it.
I'm here for it.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being my co-host. Before we do hop off, is there anything else you want to let our audience know? Anything that you want to say to them before we do hop off for this evening?
Don't forget to set boundaries.
Yeah. Okay. Take time for yourself this weekend.
Please do. This weekend, what is one thing you are doing for yourself? I know you had a hard week. I know this weather is something that we were not expecting or looking forward to. I know it's cold outside. What is something that you're doing to have self-care for yourself? Whether that is having a cup of hot chocolate and watching your favorite movie, or snuggling on the couch with your family, watching a movie, having popcorn. So what is that self-care thing that you're doing? All right. Well, ladies, that is all the time we have. Thank you so much, Jenna and Josann, for joining me on the Triple Threat J Squad for today.
Okay.
We hope to see you all again viewing. Of course, as a reminder, we stream every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget us, okay? You can find us on all of our presentations, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn page. And if you can't make it, no worries. We post our episodes on our YouTube channel and on IGTV. Make sure you follow us. And of course, happy Friday, everyone, and have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.